Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
And he's got to be feeling pretty good about his individual performance from last week's game. I mean, he did throw 4 touchdown passes, so he's in sync with his receivers, and they're very confident. Did have 1 interception.
Yeah, the 1 pick.
And
they lost.
Yeah, so no matter how many touchdowns he threw, if it comes in a loss, he's not going to be satisfied.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, that is a confidence builder and a trust builder on both sides. And what I mean by that is coaching staff putting together a game plan, players executing it. Now both of them are in sync.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's got his target, it's Cobb. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL?
And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. After the penalty, it's Jones. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll make it 2nd down. That's now 4 tackles for loss if you add the 3 he had last week to the 1 here in the first quarter.
And some of it comes from vision. And when you're playing defensive end, especially those teams that want to take their D-ends and move them out a little bit wider so they can see into the offensive backfield, they can see things develop able to make plays, then they use their athletic ability to take over and spill them.
319
on third down. Rodgers. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck roll that they can fall back on anymore.
And now out comes Minnesota. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. North of 100 yards, the two scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
On second down, here's Barkley. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A first down carry for Barkley. Again, he finds an opening. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Bird. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They give him a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock it.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Nick Perry. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was looking for John Ross that time. And it's third down.
Now we got third and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Green Bay up to the task there in coverage and forcing a fourth down. And now before they run this fourth down play, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And my goodness, this is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the fourth down pass attempt. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop.
Everyone gears up for third down, talks about the importance of it. But fourth down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on fourth down.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. He's at the 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Packers. Randall Cobb, 82 yards. And the Packers have taken the early lead. And, Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they designed every play to score. I don't know how true that is. He had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
Extra point up and good by Crosby, and it's now a 7-0 game. Returning it, John Ross. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. A first update now from Cincinnati, and it's the Browns out to the early advantage. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Going deep downfield for Ross. He's got it at the 15. A big play there for Minnesota. And even 60 yards. Now whistles as time has run out on this first quarter. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they've got it here with a first down. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Blue 90! Blue 90!
A handoff to Barkley. A great move in there, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On third down, Barkley. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
That's fielded in the end zone. Getting set to go again on the offensive side, Randall Cobb works his way back onto the field. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him?
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else, because as soon as the catch is made,
he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. Emerson Griffin in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now it's Rodgers. And the pressure gets to him again. Danielle Hunter in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers, right? He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. 3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Danielle Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now here's Ross. 1:57 to go in this first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Leopard!
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39! Watch it now, Barney!
Here's a give to Barkley. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Now Saquon Barkley. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Now back to throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's going to be caught. That one goes for 36 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that, and that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Carlson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Vikings defense ready to head back out there now. And they've created a major first-half storyline with the pressure they've been able to create.
And I know that the good teams adjust from series to series. They make their adjustments on the sideline before they go back out. In this case, I think they might need a little bit more time. They want to get to the half and start figuring out how do they change protections, how do they get the ball in the hands of the passer a lot quicker, make sure he doesn't get hit as often, all those different things. Maybe even run the ball a little bit more. Anything to try and tamp down the pressure.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the 2nd drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start up at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo. And it's the Ravens out in front as that game moves towards halftime. The Ravens locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, we stay in the AFC East and skip over to Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. 2 touchdown passes there for Tyrod Taylor. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And it's the visiting LA Chargers who are out in front. The Chargers trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Now Ross to return. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Around the NFL, they're into the second quarter in the Meadowlands. And it's an early lead there for the Saints. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
All right, here we go.
Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They keep it with Barkley on first down, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Barkley. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Give him 9 there. They still need 6 more now on third down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Gone! Now let's go! Blue, landed!
Back to throw. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Nick Perry in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
And our focus now moves to Randall Cobb. Good day for him so far here in the third quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the third quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team, because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
319!
Now a first down carry by Jones. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On play action, Rodgers. He went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. Ross on the return. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. A third quarter score now from MetLife Stadium. And scoring again, the Saints have extended their lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Again, it's Barkley. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Running left, it's Barkley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You take
touchdown, Vikings! Saquon Barkley, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball, too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense. Get a couple.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing, so they'll go for it on fourth down. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
A handoff, Barkley running left. Stopped short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 9 good yards here on the run, and now third down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a fourth down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run with Barkley. And he's got some space here. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on fourth down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 24. 5 plays there on that drive. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. From his end zone, it's Rodgers on third and long. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license,
Detroit!
don't you?
Detroit!
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Looking to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. That's caught inside the 20. A big play for the Vikings on third down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. Just thinking.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Carlson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
don't forget today. don't forget what has happened out here.
And use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Throwing right, and that's complete. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game.
58.
One final try now for Rodgers. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Vikings, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through.